Hi everybody, how are you doing today? We were lucky we had some rain over the weekend because we definitely need the rain here in California. So it was nice to get some rain this weekend and my plants are enjoying it. My son and I noticed on our way to school this morning we saw one of our succulents. It's very interesting. It's sprouting little tiny little ones right on top of it and that was neat to see. So they definitely like the rain, and we have some more rain coming later this week. One of them, though, is on the days my son is going on a field trip to see the middle school because he's in fifth grade this year. So they're going to walk over to the middle school and take a tour around, and I'm sure meet the principal, and I don't know what else they'll do. But they're going over there, and that's one of the days it's supposed to rain. So I hope the rain waits until after their field trip since they're just going to be walking and being outside. But anyway, I want to tell you something else this morning too, that on our way to school, when we were walking, something that happens once in a while, but it certainly isn't ever very fun. The cars, everybody's trying to drop their kids off to school. That's part of why I walk. We like it for the exercise, of course, and I hate dealing with all that school traffic. So we're waiting to cross the street, and cars are trying to turn into the street where the school is. And of course, there's a lineup because they turn on the street and then they have to wait to turn into where the school parking lot is. So there's always a big lineup. Well, a lot of people get impatient and they do not want to wait for the next light. The light's ready to turn red and there still isn't room for them to go on the street. Well, this morning, somebody decided they did not want to wait at all. So they went ahead and went, and the light turned red. So they were blocking the crosswalk where we were trying to cross, and they were blocking the first lane of traffic that was trying to go straight. That was frustrating. There was 3 sets of us waiting to cross the street. And they also had pulled so close to the person in front of them, there was 0 space for us to walk in between the cars, which would have been the safer option. So we actually had to walk around, but since that they were blocking that lane of traffic, that lane didn't have anywhere to go anyway. So we walked as quickly around as we could, but an older gentleman was walking towards us. He was just out on his morning walk, and he just shook his head and smiled, and at least we were all polite about it. But it's very hard to be polite when somebody is jeopardizing your safety and your child's safety. So I wish people would learn to be more patient and just wait until, if they can't make it through and to school on that light, they need to wait for the next light. So I know it gets frustrating, but it would be much better if they would be more patient and safer for us to walk. Anyway, I wanted to tell you my little story for today. So my post last week that I want to tell you about was about a devotion that I reviewed with my 11-year-old son. It is 365 Bible Answers for Curious Kids by Kathryn Slattery. I'll show it to you. Here it is. Cute book. It's got the little girl with the question mark over her head. And so on it, it says, 365 Bible Answers for Curious Kids is the perfect daily devotional to help children find biblical answers to their questions about God, the Bible, and the Christian faith. Each daily devotion includes a Bible verse and a short prayer, and many include scriptural references to help extra curious kids dig deeper. This book introduces young readers to a loving personal relationship with God through faith in Jesus. This unique devotional also offers an exciting introduction to basic Christianity for all denominations. So that's a nice thing when a book can reach out to all the different denominations and appeal to them. So that's nice. So my son and I really enjoyed reading this book together. One of my favorite things I liked at the very beginning, let me show that for you. At the very beginning, they always have a page. Here's this page where it's usually like the introduction. Usually in a children's book, it's the introduction for parents, and it usually tells the parents, you know, this is what to expect. Maybe you can use this to teach your kids, and it gives you ideas how to use the book with your kids and everything. But this book is really unique because it's written to the reader. It's written to your child. And I really love that. It starts off, "Dear reader, I'm so excited that you have chosen to read this devotional." And then it talks about what is important and what they're going to learn. And let me see, I had something over here on my blog post that I wanted to point out about it. Right here, hold on, sorry. It shows, one of them, it says, during it, she tells the kids that it's okay if they can't read it every day, because it says that God is patiently waiting for you. So I like that. So it doesn't put pressure on the kids if they can't read the devotional every day. It's okay because God's going to be waiting for them. And then my other favorite part about that was in the PS. She talks about, she tells the kids that she's praying for them. And I love that. How nice that here's an author who obviously genuinely cares for the kids that she's writing to. And that's really neat, because I know that other authors do, or they wouldn't be writing children's books. But to have somebody care enough to even think and put that special touch in there and to write to the kids themselves, I really was impressed by that. So I wanted to show you my son's favorite devotional page. His favorite devotional page was this one, which is it true that the first person to recognize Jesus was an unborn baby? And he liked that because he said, and it's also one of my favorites, and he liked it because he said he thought it was interesting that that was the first person that recognized Jesus, that it was an unborn baby. So that's why he liked that page. And overall, for the whole book, he said that he liked it because it was interesting and it made him think, which that was great, because, of course, you always want your kids to be thinking. You want them to have fun reading, too, but books that also are fun to read and make them think, that's just a huge bonus. So I really like that. And I'm sure that the author really liked it, too, because part of her reason for writing the book was to help extra curious kids dig deeper. And that's what this book is having him do. So that was really great. Hi, Julian. I'm glad you were able to join us. And then my favorite page was the one right next to it, which is this one. And it is, "What is the Song of Mary?" And I really like that page because I love songs. And the way, whenever I'm having a bad day or a good day, doesn't matter whatever kind of day I'm having, I like to pray too, but I love to say whatever I want to say to God. I love to sing, and I love to listen to praise songs. So I thought it was really cool that that was the way that Mary showed that her praise to Jesus was in a song. So that was really neat. So that's why that was my favorite devotion. And the one thing about the devotional, maybe you'll notice, so I'll show you this one. So it has a verse, you know, at the beginning it tells you what day it is, and then it has a title for the question. It has the question that the kids are asking, and then it has a verse underneath it, and then underneath that is the devotion, and then at the bottom is a little prayer, which is nice. Let me see the little prayer. Oops. Hard to figure out where to go on the camera. There's a prayer down here. You can see it better on my blog post, which I'll post a link to that in a little bit. So, but that, my son, I always read it. Luckily, he still lets me read to him. I'm sure he's not going too much longer because he's getting older, but I read the devotion part to him, and then he reads the little prayer and prays to God at the end. So that's always fun. And then on some of the devotions, also at the bottom, it tells you where else you can find. If you want to know more about it, it tells you where on the other devotionals that you can find out more information. So that's really good, too, so that if the kids are even more curious and we're interested in that was a good devotion, but I really like to know more. And then it tells you where you can go look. And then at the very back of the book is an index, and it's written by the topic. And it has all the questions on it. So the very index of questions. Here's all the index right here. And it has all the different topics. So if you want to know about time, you can look in the index. If a kid wants to know about time, then you go there and it tells you who invented time, which is on January 1st devotional, and what is leap day, which is on the February 29th devotional, which of course we didn't have this year, but you can go and look it up if you want to know, or if it's a leap year. So there's different things. There's, if you want to know about God, God's promises, there's lots of different topics in there. So that's also a neat way to look it up. So you don't always have to go, you can follow it every day through the entire year if you want. Or then also if your kid has a question, they can either go and look it up themselves, or it helps also if they have a question and you may not remember the answer exactly. If you're like me, I mean, I remember the answer, but I can't always remember the scripture reference or something. So it's really nice to have this resource available so that you can go and just turn to it and look, oh, it's right here, so I'll go look it up, and then you and your child can read more about it together. So we really enjoy this devotional. It's really great. I think it's good for kids about 8 through 12. It's probably good for other ages too, but that's probably the best age range for it. So I will put a link to my blog post in the comments later so that you can read about it and check it out, and hopefully go get one for your child too, or even another child you know. In another blogging group that I'm in, there's some young sisters, and they don't have children yet. They're just starting out their careers and everything, but their aunt has a child. So they're going to be nice and pass it on to their aunt, so that way maybe she can get it if she wants for her child. So even if you don't have children yourself, you can maybe check it out and pass the information on along to somebody else that has some in that age range. That would be great. I would appreciate it a lot. And then if you do that, if you want me to do something for you in return, just let me know in the comments, and I'll be happy to. If you have a blog post or if you have anything else you want me to share, I would be happy to do that in return for you. Just let me know. All right, so that's it. I did want to ask if you, especially you watching on the replay, obviously if you're watching live, then this time is fine for you for me to go online for Facebook Live. But if you're watching this in the replay, I would love to know what is a good time for you, which is a better time to go on live. So if you would let me know. And as always, if you need anything about anything, healthy living, saving money, children's products, anything, if you want to know anything, either leave me a comment or just leave it on my page or message me, and I will be happy to get back to you. All right, I hope you have a great week, and I will see you next week. Bye.